Dwayne, good evening. Good morning to you. You're over in Texas, and we have Eric from Detroit, and here the names come in. Virginia. Oh, okay, that's a little bit quick. We've got Mark from the UK, Giuseppe from Italy. We have another one, Fulvio there also, Armando. Okay, and the names are dropping in there. Shirley, Louise, good evening. And if I missed some of you guys, very sorry about that. Roy, good evening. Santiago, oh, right. Very, very welcome here. And we're using a little bit of a different platform tonight. Let's just quickly see. Give me a heads up or say there that you can hear me so that I'm not speaking into the void and the abyss of nothingness. Virginia, ciao. Hi, Buzin. Welcome back. I'm starting to recognize a few names here. Niels from Switzerland. Good evening. Good evening. And who else do we have here? Heidi. Welcome back, Heidi. Roger, thank you for that. That's great to know. Carl, great. Thanks for that heads up. And then everybody joining us. We already have 151 people in the room tonight. So very happy to see all of you here. If you've joined any of the webinars before, just a quick thing that tonight we're using a different platform. I just want to switch a little bit here and there. So a little bit of different layout you may be used to, but I'm hoping to see, especially when it comes to the videos that we're playing, that we won't have any audio issues over there. Good. And Sibongile, good evening, my friend. Welcome. And then we have Marina from Canada, Marco from the Netherlands, Duncan, good evening, and Armand from France. It's good to see all of you here. Very welcome to the Brizy webinar on this Thursday evening. I'm in South Africa, and a big group of you sitting there on the East Coast and the West Coast over in the States and in the Southern Americas. Welcome here as well. And the platform, Mateus, is Webinar Jam. So tonight we're trying Webinar Jam. Previously, we used live webinar. We still have live webinar. We're just testing a little bit what works. Chetan, good evening. Welcome, welcome. You should be in bed, right? No, it's not that late over there. Not that late over there. Good to see people from the Dominican Republic, Eric. And then we have John from Las Vegas. And huge apologies for skipping out on the other 100 people that I haven't mentioned here, but we'll find you in the chat room. Let's get on with the show. And tonight we are looking at Brizy Essentials. Before we do that, yes, the 600 mark barrier has been breached and we official at 599. I wonder if that's true or Dimi just made that up and psychologically wanted to let you know we've entered the 500s. But we are at 599 last lifetime licenses for Brizy Pro WordPress, going at $299 US. And as I've mentioned before, this deal, when it gets to zero, it doesn't mean it will not be there. There will still be lifetime licenses, but the price will go up. And if you have seen products that have done this and ones that are currently out there that do this, you know that the price sometimes go up over the years. It's at 500, 600 as you add on more features. So if you are a WordPress user, and I want to say specifically a WordPress user, then you know the future may just hold it in for you. Pro deal is a good deal to go. Tonight, we're going to prepare WordPress and get ready to install Brizy and begin building your pages. Create your first page in WordPress using Brizy. But unfortunately, we're not going to get to the last point because we're trying to keep it within an hour, so I ran out of time. What we are going to show you, though, is the Brizy Builder. So for you guys, and I've seen a lot of you there, you are already quite familiar with Brizy, and I'm pretty sure you're going to learn nothing new tonight because we're going to be looking at the basic stuff here for people who are new to website making. And right, so we are at 60 minutes already. The showcase I'm going to show you is pre-recorded, and this is purely for people that have no idea how Brizy works. I'm going to show you how to install it in WordPress, and I'm also going to show you how to install it in Brizy Cloud. Not install it, but how to sign up for Brizy Cloud. Unfortunately, I'm not technical support, so I cannot help you with any technical questions tonight, but we can have a nice discussion in the chat room. Those questions that I can get back to you, I'm going to jot it down. I'll get back to the team for you, and we'll see what we can answer. Feature requests in the future, I can tell you now, I don't have the magical crystal ball. As much as I would like to have it, any person who has that magical crystal ball will make gazillions. No one has it yet at this moment. And that brings us quickly to me. Well, I just want to say, for me, the only big thing I can tell you at this moment is that tomorrow South Africa goes into what we now call level 4 lockdown, which means tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, I am allowed to go and do exercise outside my house in a radius of 5 kilometers, which means I'm going to take my dogs for a walk for the first time in over 5 weeks. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So we're going to start with the Brizy Essentials workshop. This is a pre-recorded video that allows us to get hands-on with you in the chat room. So that's one reason. Second reason is I'm located in South Africa. We call it the Gramadulas, which means in the middle of nowhere. And my internet here is really horrendous. That is why I unfortunately cannot do a live webinar for you. I've tried it once before and the quality is just too bad. But within 2-3 months, I'm moving house and then I'm going to have amazing fiber optic internet. And then we'll be able to do these things live, hands-on. So start the video. This is Essentials, focusing on the Brizy Builder, how to set it up in WordPress, and also how to get started with Brizy Cloud. Right, let's begin our journey into finding out more about the Brizy Builder. And the first place you have to go is to brizy.io. And this is our official website where you need to go if you want to learn more about Brizy in terms of what Brizy can do and where you actually can find the various information about Brizy. So go to brizy.io, and the first thing I want to point out to you are these two buttons here in the middle. One says Brizy for WordPress, and the other one says Brizy for Cloud. If you've been around Brizy for some time, you will have a very good idea of what is going on here. If you are new, this will be like, what the hey? What do I do now? Well, you've got an option here. We've got two platforms. And between these two platforms, we have an very, very faintly up there with the logo, you will see Brizy Builder. Now, everything you see here happening in this GIF is the Brizy Builder, how you can build out a website, how you can make your pages, bring in these pre-designed blocks. That is all done with the Brizy Builder. And the Brizy Builder is the same between these two platforms. One platform is called WordPress, and the other platform is called Brizy Cloud, or just Cloud. Up to you. If you know what is WordPress, if you've worked with WordPress before, and you have certain plugins and apps that you prefer for WordPress, this is the one to go for. On the other hand, I would suggest if you have never worked with a website, you've never built anything, you have no idea where to start, then I recommend you go with this one. And why? Why go with Brizy Cloud if you know nothing? Because there is an absolute free version of Brizy Cloud, and it's not a crippled version. With this free version of Brizy Cloud, you can create an entire website. And we will not do that, but on the YouTube channel, you can go check out. We've got videos there on how to do that, and it's absolutely free. And the reason why I recommend you do this is you don't waste money. If you are not sure where the website making is for you or not, go for Brizy Cloud. Otherwise, Brizy WordPress. So let's talk quickly about this one, setting it up quickly, and then how to set up Brizy Cloud. And then we go into the Brizy Builder for you to see how you build out a page. When you work with WordPress, you need to make 3 decisions before you get even to the Brizy Builder. Decision number 1 is a host. And you can choose your own host, but we also have a few partners here at Brizy that we partner with. And if you go up here on the website under partners, you will see we call them associates. This is a very popular international word. My associate, right? Hosting, this is where you start. This is number 1. This is the first thing that you have to choose. And we have 4 partners that we host with, and they give you some extra bling if you sign up with them. So here we have SiteGround, and what you get if you get a deal with SiteGround is that you get 1 year Brizy Pro for free. Nice, right? So if you don't have a host and you want to do it, make use of one of these deals. SiteGround is one, Cloudways is the other one, InMotion, and then Bluehost. And these are just 4 of a plethora of hosting that is out there. This is your personal decision. These are just a few guys that we partner with, but who you choose in the end is very important. What makes these guys and many others so popular is that when you sign up with them, they will install WordPress for you with a one-click installation. So you don't have to go through that process of downloading WordPress and installing it yourself. So that's a very important one to understand. That is the first thing that you will have to do, is you have to get hosting. Otherwise, no one will be able to access your WordPress site. And secondly, you won't have a WordPress site. You need a host. You need a place where this thing is kept, a server. You also have the option of a local server, but we're not going to go into that. The next thing that's not included here or not mentioned here, it's included here, not mentioned here, is a website address. I like to use the word website address, but when you start working with page building and website making, you will hear people use domain or URL more often. That is the website address. This Brizy.io, you will need an address. And for this, you will actually have to go into a directory, get one, and this will also cost you some money. Website addresses aren't for free. It's like a post box at a post office. They are not for free. You have to pay some rent to have that post box. It's the same to have your URL or your website address. Now, many of these guys, if I click here on get the deal for Cloudways, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a deal, and I say that under correction. But the packages that they will have will sometimes include that you can choose a URL, a website address within that package. So here they have a free trial and pricing. I don't want to divert here, but it seems I do that. So let's see over here. Oh, okay. So let's start here with this one. Unlimited team or staging or regular. I don't see it now. Let me quickly see free SSL. Okay, I don't have time to go through that. But you can rest assured that most of these hosts will be able to give you a domain name, a website address, and you can get it from that. Okay, so that was 1, you need a host. 2, you need a domain. And then you are ready. And then, of course, you need that WordPress installation. I'll go here into Bluehost, and you'll see here we have Bluehost also at the bottom. I do a lot of projects for clients with Bluehost. It's not a preferred website, it's just one of the hosts that I use because this is a very cheap package that I've got here that allows me to create unlimited subdomains. And the unlimited subdomains allow me to create all these extra pages that I can work with for tutorials like this. And this is what I have here, and you can see that I have a dashboard here from where I can manage the websites, and then also what I have here is that I can access them. And that you have the one-click WordPress installation. So if I go look for Brizy, over here is Brizy free. And then I'm going to log into WordPress. And this is a site that I've set up for Brizy free. It's a complete new site, which means that I got my WordPress, I got my URL, my website address, and then the other thing that I got is that I had the one-click WordPress installation. So what I expect to see when I go in here is a fresh, clean install of WordPress. And this is what we've got here. So you always know it's a new installation of WordPress when you click here on this little one, Pages, where you create your web pages. You will see there are these 2 default pages that come in, Privacy Policy and Sample Page. You don't need to use them, right? These are just 2 default pages that WordPress gives you, annoyingly so. What we need to do here is that we want to create our website within WordPress. Currently, our website looks like this, and we have lots of videos on how to work within WordPress. So if what I'm showing you here is a little bit foreign, then just go and check that out. We have to install Brizy. So you go to the plugins folder here and we go look for Brizy, click here on add new in the WordPress repository. And this is a huge library of all the apps, plugins that you can get. And over here, you just type in the search bar Brizy, and it will search a little bit, and give you everything Brizy related. Even here, you will see the starter templates from Astra, Brainstorm Force, that includes Brizy templates. But we are interested in our good friend Brizy page builder over here. You need to install it, and within WordPress, anything that you install works in 2 phases. First is installation, and then the second one is activate. If I don't click on this one here, I have installed it, but it's not active. I cannot use it. Go here to plugins and click on plugins, and you will see that Brizy is here under my plugins, but it is not active, so I cannot use it yet. I will click here on activate now, and after I've clicked on it, notice here in the sidebar on the left that Brizy, the label, will appear here. Let's click on it, activate. And once it's activated, there we have Brizy now. And we have this little pop-up here. Come on, give us some love. I already did. And that is just a review system. And now we have Brizy here installed, and we can begin creating pages in Brizy. And to do that, you have to create a page, a web page. Let's go here to pages. If I click on all pages, you remember I have shown you those two. And now we create an extra page, and we let's call it our home page. This will be the page that people will access when they come to my site. And this is our home page. I'm going so quickly through this, and though it's an essentials video, I feel extremely guilty because essentials will take much, much longer than this. But maybe this will give you a very good idea of what Brizy is all about, both for the WordPress and cloud versions. And then if you are interested in knowing more, just hop on over to the YouTube site, or YouTube rather, and check out the channel there. Okay, so I've created the page in WordPress, and I can click on publish. I mentioned earlier that when you work with WordPress, there are essentially 3 decisions that you have to make. Number 1 is your host. Number 2 is your domain, your website address. And number 3 is a very peculiar WordPress component, and that is called a theme. And a theme is, well, as linked to WordPress as your arm is linked to your body, you know. So what you need to do with this situation is you have to go here to Appearance in the sidebar and click on Themes. And you will see here there is one theme that we are using called 2020. Now, the theme controls how your site looks and how it behaves. It's similar to if you have a cell phone running on Android and you can choose different themes for how it will look. For example, I have a Sony Xperia cell phone, and I can install different themes from Sony, and it will change the color and the look and the fonts and even how the icons display on my phone. This is what a theme does. It's something, like I said, very unique in such a sense to WordPress that you do not find on other online builders. But with WordPress, theme is important. Even if you use a plugin that doesn't require a theme, WordPress requires a theme. And by default, you will always get this one now, at this moment, called 2020. But you know what? I don't like this theme. We don't like this theme. You have the option to install themes that work much better than this one and gives you better control and more options. Again, if you go to our website at brizy.io, and at the top where we have partners, you will see there is an option themes and plugins. And this is where, again, you will see a number of recommendations of themes that we use, right? So you can have a look here through these guys, and there are many others as well that aren't listed here. Just like hosting, themes, very much personal choice. I have my preferred themes, so I'm not going to recommend them, but I just say as time goes on, you have to test them a little bit, and some you like. I clicked on Add New. I'm going to look for a new theme. I'm going to use Page Builder Framework for this exercise. Page Builder Framework, very clean theme that allows for very fast speeds. My internet is a little bit slow. So as it loads, same procedure that we went through within the plugins. You click on Install, and it goes through this process, and after it has installed, you click on Activate. And now, let's go back to our pages. I had created that page, which I had called Home Page, and if I click now on it, we will see that it has a little bit of a different look than it did previously when it used the 2020 theme. Again, there's so much you can do on this page here, which I'm not going to show you because this is all WordPress related. And the great thing about Brizy is that if you use the Brizy Builder to build out this page, you don't have to go into most of these settings here on the right, which can be very overwhelming and scary for newcomers. This video and this webinar is to show you more about the Brizy Builder, and we haven't touched it yet. To do that, we have to go to this little pink button up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, but before I then continue, I will go and show you how to set up Brizy Cloud. Edit with Brizy, click on the pink button, and now you will enter the Brizy Builder. And what do you want to do with the Brizy Builder? Well, you want to build out web pages. You want to make pages like this. And you can do all of that in the Brizy Builder. And in fact, what you see here has been done in the Brizy Builder. Everything on the Brizy site, brizy.io, has been done in the Brizy Builder. Let's just go back here, and this is how it looks. So I've gotten a host, I got my website address, I had my one-click WordPress installation, I got into WordPress, I installed the Brizy plugin, I chose a new theme, I created a page, and here I am in this page. And now I want to start building it so that it can look good and that I can put it on the internet. So pause and let's step out of this for a moment. Let's go back here to Brizy, and I'll just go to brizy.io again. And we go back to these two buttons. So I've shown you how to get everything ready to work with the Brizy Builder in WordPress. Now let's look at what you have to do to get things ready for working with Brizy in Brizy Cloud. So the process is different between the two, but the end result getting here, when you get here, is the same, more or less. Let's go into Brizy Cloud, and as I click on it, you will see it opens a new page. And this page up here, let me just take this ghastly number away, is brizy.cloud. So it's got its own website address. And from here, looks a little bit similar to the page that we have for Brizy WordPress. And most of the time it's going to be, because it basically does the same. What is going to be different is that those three choices that I had spoken to you about earlier, host, URL, and the theme that you are going to use, is going to be different. I think the first thing you have to understand here, I never used the word WordPress. In Brizy Cloud, there is absolutely nothing about WordPress. And if you've worked with WordPress before or any plugins from WordPress, get it out of your head. It's got nothing to do with Brizy Cloud. You cannot do any of the plugins that you can do in WordPress in Brizy Cloud. So if you have worked with WordPress before, you have had plugins that you used in that one, they are absolutely of no use for you in Brizy Cloud. Brizy Cloud is a complete different system. You can compare it to Windows and Mac. Many apps that you get on Mac for video editing, you get Final Cut Pro, it only works on a Mac. And that's more or less what's going on here. What you're going to see in Brizy Cloud only works in Brizy Cloud. But the end result getting here is the same. So we're back in Brizy Cloud, and now how do you go through that process of setting up your site in Brizy Cloud? The first thing you need is an account. So you go up here to Account Login, and you click on this one. And this is already going to log me into my account because I'm logged in by default. What I want you to do is I'm going to sign out here. And then if you click on Account Login, you're going to be greeted with this screen. And this is the Brizy Cloud dashboard, project area. Everything happens here. The same screen that you had seen in the WordPress. Let me take us out of here. I'll quickly show you that. Just so you can have an idea of how these two compare. This is WordPress. As you enter WordPress, everything you do to build out your site is done from here. In Brizy Cloud, it looks like this. Much cleaner, much more friendlier. That's the whole idea behind Brizy Cloud, is to be intuitive and to be friendly and make it easy. And of course, what I'm showing you at this moment, everything is for free. If you go up here to the profile and you click on it the first time, you will see that it says guest sign out. Currently, you're a guest. You can create a page here, but that page is basically useless. It's more like a practice for you, and it can get lost. You need to sign up, and that is for a free account. So you simply click on sign up, and then make sure sign up is selected up here. Enter your details, and whoop, you're good to go. That is how easy the sign up is. I'm going to just log in, and it's going to do exactly the same. Which one is it now? I know I changed it. You know, this is how passwords go. Let me make sure I got the right one. Try again. There we go. Okay. There we go. Update quickly. Good. So this is what my dashboard now currently looks like, because I have a lot of projects that I've worked with here. Previously, you had seen there was only this one, and it was over here, and there was nothing else. Each of these that you see here, each of them is a website. Wow, right? So whereas in WordPress, this is your website, and this is your dashboard. In Brizy Cloud, you have the dashboard, but you can create multiple websites in here. In fact, the key word here is unlimited. Yes, unlimited websites. So far, you have not signed up for hosting, because hosting is included within Brizy Cloud. Yup, it is included even for free. URL. Now here comes an interesting one. You are given a free website address in Brizy Cloud, but it's not the one you would like. Maybe it's one that's a little bit icky and you don't like it, but you can change it, or you can bring in your own paid custom one. But if you are happy with the generated one given to you, then you don't have to go through step number 2. And step number 3, there are no themes here. So those 3 choices are kind of done for you in Brizy Cloud, and that also streamlines everything for you. Right. Let's just go back to WordPress, and I know I'm jumping between the two, but it gives you an idea of the complexity between the two and also the changes and differences between the two. If I go back to my pages, and remember, this WordPress is my entire site. It's an entire site, and you create your pages, like your home page here under Pages. I click on my home page, it takes me into this page, and then from here I click on Continue to Edit with Brizy, and that takes me into the Brizy Builder. To get here in Brizy Cloud, let me just drag this tab here all the way to the right, I need to create a new project, a new website. And to do that, you go here where it says Create New Project. And you know, that's the great thing about Brizy, is that the whole idea behind Brizy is for it to be in your face intuitive. It's like, oh, I want to create a new project, and then as you think about it, you see it there. Same like the builder. I want to create and build a page, start building your page. It's very much prominent, and it's very much clear as to what you should do next. So to get to the builder and start building your page in Brizy Cloud, let's create a new project, and I click here on Create New Project. It's going to give me 2 options, and we're only interested in the website. This is what we're trying to do now. So just blind those guys out over there and focus on the website, and we click on Create. Brizy Cloud is going to create a new website for us. And where is that one now? It's over here. It's the last one. Project number 10. And we'll call this Essential Brizy Builder so that we don't get lost. And that's it. Now we've given it a name. Now, if I want to go and work in this project, in this website, I click here on Edit Project, and that will take me into the Brizy Builder. And you will see now, I'm going to jump between these two. Do you see any major changes happening between these two? In fact, there is only one change visually, and that's this little button that you see here at the bottom. This is Brizy WordPress, and this is Brizy Cloud. And as I switch between the two, you will see the changes here. Okay. For all intents and purposes, it's a huge phrase. I like to use it. It makes me sound very smart. For all intents and purposes, there are very few differences between these two. And both of these builders are called the Brizy Builder. They act the same, they have the same features, and their purpose is to bring you to a point where you can build a website like this. And because they are the same, I am going to close out the Brizy WordPress one. I'm just going to show you how the builder works in Brizy Cloud, but remember, they are the same. Close this one, and let's follow the cues. Cue number 1 says, start building your page. In fact, let me also close this one. Cue number 1, start building your page. And this is where you should start. Let's just click on this and see what happens. This opens the block manager or the block library. And the word block is a very essential cornerstone word in the Brizy world. You will see up here it says blocks. And as you scroll through them, you begin quickly to understand what's going on here. Pre-made designs, right? Ones that I can use without having to think by myself or having to create. The first thing I want to tell you as a newcomer, that's what we do. Don't come in and try and redesign the entire world. Be happy with these blocks because they are ready-made. They are made for you. And these are modern blocks which copies the trends and follows the trends currently online for website making. And there's so many of them. What is important that if you scroll like I'm scrolling now, it's going to be very overwhelming. And when it comes to website making, it's actually divided into components. You get different parts on a page, and those components are over here under categories. So you can see they are divvied up into these different categories. Hero is usually the top block on your page, and you have features, contact, and you can filter through them. So if I click here on Hero, you see these images. Features will be more like lists featuring, your product or the service. Contact will be contact forms through which people can contact you, and you go through all these various categories to select the one that you want to use. The other one, very important, is that you have an option, very common also in website design, between a light version, which is this one, and a dark version. And these guys have been designed to complement the light. They are frenemies. So light and dark. And then you have another option. Up here, you will see there's a drop down. It says currently kit number 2. And this is not the car from Knight Rider, but you have kit number 1. And over here, let's just choose cover. These load the legacy blocks that were released when Brizy first came onto the market. What? Almost 2 years ago, right? Yeah, wow, almost 2 years anniversary. Or is it? I think May, right? It was May 2018. I have to check up with Dimi on that. So you can choose and mix and match between these various blocks. Kit 1 or Kit 2, light or dark, and then you have all these various categories that you can choose from. Now to bring in a block on your site is as simple as just scrolling and then choosing the block and then clicking and it will drop in. I realize currently that I am in Brizy Cloud Pro, and when it comes to the builder, there's no big difference except that some of these blocks in Brizy Cloud Free will be locked. They aren't accessible in Brizy Cloud Free, but there's still a plethora that are. And I think this one is available in free. So if I click on this one, that's what's going to happen. It's going to bring in this block. So you've brought in a block here, and there's a title here, and there's a subtitle there, and there's a button here, and there's some social icons over here. So the idea is you build out the site first. Let's bring in another block under this so you can see how the blocks work. So you have that hero, and under that, maybe you want to introduce your product, and that will be features. So let's click here on features, and let's see what we've got here. Features. This is a big feature list. Why choose us? Very nice. Have some convincing reason why people should go with your product. We don't know what your product is yet, but yeah, the option is over here. And then down here, we want people to click on a button and subscribe maybe. And that is called a call to action, CTA. So here, let's choose CTA. And you will see all of them feature buttons. And the button is a cue that this is a call to action. With people clicking on that button, it will take them somewhere else or maybe subscribe them. But to give a little bit variety to our site, we're going to switch that out with a dark one. So let's click here on dark, and then we click here. Okay, and then you see now we have our hero header up here. Then we have our features and a call to action. Click here. Let's introduce our team next. So add a new block. Let's look for team. We put it back on light. And let's choose a big team over here, who's posing very nicely for us. And then under this, let's bring in a testimonial. People who say some smart things about our site. Testimonial, we put it on dark again. For variety, let's choose this one. No, let's choose this one. Alrighty. You can see our site is being built out. And then let's end it off with a contact form where they can contact us. Go to contact, choose light. Let's choose this contact form up here. Keep it simple. And I would advise, if this is your first foray into the world of website making, follow the rule of keeping it simple. Start with these blocks, build them out, get confident with them. When you've brought in your blocks and you're happy with them, it's important that you save your page. That is done here in the bottom right-hand corner. Very, very important feature. Just click on that and you will say publish or save. And then after this, it will keep saying update. That's all you need to do. You just click here on update. You can also view this page, how it will appear to a visitor who comes to your site. And that you do over here on the preview button. Click on that and it will open your page on the front end. And this is the same for Brizy WordPress and Brizy Cloud. And this is how your page will look. So we've brought in these blocks. But of course, what is very, very, very important here is that you cannot use this content. You have to go and change the content. And this is one of the parts where Brizy is just blocks ahead. Let's close this front end and we go into the back end. Anywhere you see text that you want to change, to interact with that text, you simply click on it. So let's look here at the best solutions. I want to change this to, let's say, product that I want to sell them some new LED energy efficient light. Click on this. And when you click on it, you will see all these options open here. And a lot of them shouldn't be strange to you. You should recognize them from word processors like Word or Excel or any other document editor that you've used, that a lot of these features look very similar. At this moment, we just want to change the text. So to do that, click and drag with your cursor over the text, and you can type in there LED energy efficient light. And that's how you will do that. And to give it a little subheading, let's click here just to deselect that. Then we go to this one, click again on it, select it. Latest innovative technology on the market. Right. So you see, that's how you go ahead and you change the text. Over here is a button and it says, how can we help? You can also change the button text. Again, you click in there and you can click and drag. But I want to show you another option as well. I triple click. So you click 1, 2, 3. And by doing that, you select everything. And then here we can say, check out the brochure. And this is what you will do, going through the entire site and changing the text for each of these areas where you have the text. Very important, you're not going to use this text. But maybe it says something like here, why choose us, and you're very happy with that. Then you can leave that on why choose us. I just have a cat here that I have to move. Okay, cat is gone. Why choose us? So there we go. And then under that, you again go ahead and you change the text. So just again, you click on the text. That will bring up the toolbar. And then what you will do is you select it with your cursor. Or you can triple click. Or you use the shortcut key on your keyboard. On Windows, it is Control A. And on a Mac, that is Command A. A for all. And that's how you select it. And that's just where you start with that. But let's quickly build one block from the beginning by ourselves to understand how you can actually build up something by yourself. To do that, you can scroll here down to the bottom and you say add a new block. Good. And then instead of choosing one of these pre-made blocks, we're going to choose this one here, add a blank block. Right. If you go down here to the bottom, you will see there is a little icon that appears here, and that is your block icon. Click on that, and you have a lot of options here. You can change the background, like the color. Let's click on this one, and let's change the color of this background to this pink rose color over here. You can even give it a gradient if you want to be a little bit different. Let's put it on a gradient like this. Let's just drag that in a little bit, make the gradient less. And then over here, I'll put it on 45 degrees. Let's see how that looks. Or my favorite is 135. I'm not sure if it works the same like it does in Photoshop. And now you can see we have this gradient here in the background. All right. You see this plus here in the middle? This is where we bring in that text. All the content in a page builder is called elements. They are little blocks, small little blocks of content, and they have specific features. And when I click here, you will see that this drawer here on the left opens with all these icons, or elements rather, in here. Because this is Brizy Pro, you see a lot. If this is Brizy Free, there will be fewer ones, but all the essential ones will be there. For example, the most essential one is our text element, and you can see it up here. That's why it also appears as the first element within this list. Now what I want to do is get this element onto the page over here. And to do that, you click on the element, hold your click in or your button in, and then you just drag it and you see that blue little dot. Shows you you've got an element captured in there. Drag it and you take it to this area where you want to place it and you drop it. Ta-da! You see, not that difficult, right? Okay, good. So far, so good. Now, I showed you just a few minutes ago how to change the text. So let's do that first. I'm going to triple click to select everything and say my own block, typing that into all caps. And from here, let's do the styling that you are used to. The first one I will do is align it. So here with the align button, currently it's aligned to the left. I want to have it in the center, so I click on it, it's center. If I click on it again, it's on the right. And if I click on it again, it's justified. You see now those 4 lines are equal length. And if I click on it a 4th time, it's again just aligned to the left. But I want it in the middle, so click here. Then let's change the color. I think that's a little bit too soft. So click here on the colors. Then over here, I will choose from these preset colors. This one here, second from the left. But let's change the typography and make that also bigger. Now, typography is the word we use for the font. And we all know the word font. If you've used word before, you know the word font. Go to over T for typography. And then here you have all the fonts that you can choose from. Let's choose this one, Comforta. And then here you have the settings. Weight is the thickness of the lines. Let's put it on bold. And then let's increase the size. I just click here on the up arrow. And I can increase or decrease the letter spacing. You see, I can put more space between the letters. Give it like a movie buster look. But I can also decrease it. Make it a little bit more impact. So you see there. Good. And this way, every time you want to bring in a new element, let's say I want to bring in a subtitle below here. It's another text element. So I go here to add elements. I grab the text and I drag it. And now you see, as I come in here, I see these thick gray lines appear within this block. The thick gray lines, they show me where are opportunities for me to bring in this text element. I can drop it here or I can drop it there. In this case, I want to put it at the bottom. And after I've done that, I realized, actually I wanted to put it at the top. And to do that, let's click outside, hover over this element, click and hold with your mouse, and then drag it up. And you see, I can drag these guys around. Let's do it with this one. Click and hold and drag. And that's how you can change the order of elements on your site. I'm going to triple click, a new beginning, whatever that means, and then center align it, go to typography, and let's put it again on Comforta to keep it uniform. All right. Now you see that's how we build up. It's a heading title, upper title, and then you have this one over here, which is our most important heading. Let's say I want to bring in a button. Let's bring in a button. So we go up here to the left, add elements. There's the button. Click and drag that, and we drop the button here. And then we double click for that one, and we say contact us. Contact us. And what if I want to add some space here between these two? there's an element for that called the spacer. Let's bring in the spacer. I drag it there. And where's the spacer? There it is. Click on it. And now you will see that little dot appear there. And I drag that out to bring in more space. What's important to understand here is that we have videos on all of these. So you want to know how to use these various elements, hop on over to YouTube. Some of them are a little bit outdated because we've released a lot of updates in the last few months. And I'm guilty. I'm struggling to keep up with all the new releases. We've just had a massive, big release in the last month or so from WordPress and then Brizy Cloud. And it's quite a job to keep up with all the new features as they roll out, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. But one of the great things about Brizy is that I want this block actually to be here all the way at the top. And how do I do that? And for a lot of things, you have options here on the left. This thing where you have the settings, we call it a sidebar. And we've got these settings up here for the add elements, right? And you saw how I brought in those elements. And there are many. You can go through them. Icons, images, audio, you can bring in video, spacer, line, map, and the list goes on. And what you can do with these elements all depend on whether you are using the free version of Brizy or the pro version. Again, I've mentioned before, with the free version, you can build out a full website. With the pro version, you will have a few more options. Under the add elements is the one I'm interested in now, reorder blocks. Click on that and you will see there blocks over here, and then they generate these little images. We refer to them as thumbnails. And now we can see they correspond with the blocks on the page. This one, right? Okay, so you can see that we've created a page layout on this side with the individual blocks. This one, I want to be at the top. And as I hover with the cursor over them, you will see that it changes into that little icon with the 4 arrows. And that gives you the idea that you can drag them. Click and hold and drag this one then. You drag it all the way to the top and drop it. And after you've done that, your own block will move to the top. Let's say, for example, that you think this one, you don't want to use this one anymore. Then you can go up here to the block settings. You can delete it here. Or you can go to the reorder blocks. And next to the block, you will see there's that little X to delete it. And you can delete it from there, which I have just done. Right, so far you've seen how we brought in blocks, and you've seen how we've created our own block, and how you can change content, how you bring in elements, and how you reorder them. A massive nice feature within Brizy is the ability to style. For example, all of these that we had brought in comes in with a certain font. So if I click here, go to typography, you will see it's set to overpass. If I go here, typography, overpass. Let's choose other text here, this one. Again, overpass. And let's go to this one here. Now, why is it set to overpass? It is set to overpass because it is set to paragraph. What does that mean? It means that when you assign any of these text elements, this one called paragraph, it will assign overpass as the default font. It's a preset style. And if you want to change the font, what we had done up here, we had done it one by one by one. But what if we could change all of that in one go at the same time? And yes, you can. So remember, if I look at these guys, they are here on paragraph, all of them. Okay, that brings us to the sidebar to this third icon called styling. Click on it and feature here on these blocks where the presets are. And the first one is called paragraph. If I click on it, you will see here I have the similar box that appears to the text box that we had seen with our fonts here on the left. Now if I want to change them to Comforta, I just scroll down and I look here for Comforta. And observe what happens to the text if I click on Comforta. And in a jiffy, it was too quick for me. They changed. So everything that is set to paragraph changed now to Comforta. Let's use something even a little bit more extravagant, like caution script. If I click on this, you will see they all switch to caution script. Everywhere a paragraph or a text element had been set to, what was this, paragraph, it will switch now to caution script. We don't like that though, so let's put it back on Comforta. But what you would have noticed is that this title here didn't change. If I click on this one and I go look at its styling preset, you will see this one is set to a one called above title. So you just do the same. You go here, look for above title, and there it is, third from the top, and you also put it on Comforta. What is great here, if you didn't have this feature here, you would have to go to each of these text boxes individually and set them manually to Comforta. But now you don't have to do that. It's as simple as just a few changes. These two have not changed. So let's have a look at what they are. We click on that one. This is heading 1. Okay, so we go up here. We look for heading 1 there. And we also put it on Comforta. And it changes. This one, T, subtitle. Go to our styling, look for subtitle here, and then put it on Comforta. And this way, you go easily through it, and you quickly make changes to it. But wait, there's more. We've changed the typography now, but did you know you can also change the default colors? Yep, go to styling again, and here you will see these colors that you had also seen that when we had changed the background of this block. Remember, we had gone to the block settings. We went here to colors, and then we had put this gradient, and I chose this one here and this one there. Okay, so remember, that's where I got those colors from. And what we can do is we can change those colors, and they will change all over your site. That's also done under styling, and here you see them. There's that color, and there is this color. But before I change anything here, you have styles, preset styles that you can choose from up here. So magazine, if I choose that, you see it changes here, and it also changes the color here. But more than that, it also changes the fonts. So if I go to paragraph now, which I currently put on Comforta, it's now on Red Hat text. So remember that this current style up here changes not only the colors, but also your fonts. Let's choose another one, graceful. Nice. I like how it changes good color schemes. Ashen. Ooh, ashen. Oblivion. There's Oblivion, very, very different. And you can go through these, and maybe there are ones that you like this one is exquisite. I think exquisite is pretty nice. But on the other hand, you have full custom control. So if you want to change this color, for example, here you say, nah, I don't like it. You can come in here and you can make changes to the color. Let's say I want to put it on this green here. And then everywhere this color was used on your site, it will be replaced by this green. Let's look at this pink, for example. Let's say this is where the current pink is, and I want to put it also on a green. I'll bring it here. And then you see how it changes to green in real time. And this is across your entire page, not only your page, your entire site. You can easily make these global changes. Great. You've got a good idea of what's going on here, right? And this is how you build out. You've brought in your own pre-made blocks. You've built out an own block, and you've done a good job so far. Let's just save our work. Remember here at the bottom, update. Let's preview it one more time to see how it looks. Preview. Right? And just wait for it to load. There we go. Let's look at a few more features of the Brizy Builder before we wrap it up for this webinar. Important when working with websites is that you have to design it for how it will display on your desktop. And desktop is that computer like a laptop or a PC or a tower that you use in your house with a monitor. That's what we mean when we refer to desktop. But nowadays, people use tablets and people use cell phone devices, right? We all know that. But how this page will display on those devices are very different. So just for example, if I look at this page here, I have the option to view this page as if somebody's viewing it on a tablet. And to do that, go here, click on mobile view on the sidebar on the left, and you will see the three options here. Tablet, click on tablet, and now you see it changes a little bit. First of all, what happens is that the page area has size to that of a tablet, and things look a little bit different. And now when I click here on this title up here, you will see I again have a toolbar with fewer settings. But what I can do here is I can make changes only to the tablet. Same thing if I go to mobile. You see now it's very different. Now my columns are stacked on top of each other instead of being next to each other. And this is all done for it to look good on a mobile device, because mobile devices are just very, very different. Let's look again at, for example, this one. This is a very good example. Here you see this icon with the text, heading, and this. They are stacked on top of each other, but on tablet, they are in these columns, and on desktop, they are bigger. Now let's go to mobile and scroll to the top. This is the block that I had created, and I'm pretty sure you don't want anybody to come to your site and it looks like this, right? And this is where this extra responsive controls come in. If I click here on this and I go to the T for typography, what I can do here now is to reduce the text until it looks better, like there. I can also reduce the letter spacing. Let's bring in letter spacing, and then the weight, bold is good. Let's make it a little bit bigger again. I'm going to reduce the letter spacing. And I'm making these changes, but what is cool is that these changes do not reflect on tablet nor on desktop. They are responsive. They only apply to what you see here on the mobile device. If I go to tablet, you will see my tablet, 2 lines as well. So what I do, I click there, I reduce it. Let's first do the letter spacing. Yeah, oops, go back, click on it. And in fact, I can even change the alignment here. Let's put everything to the left. Click on this one, put it to the left. Take my button, put it to the left. Did it change the same for the desktop? Let's have a look. Answer is no. Desktop is still center aligned. This is what we mean by responsive design. In Brizy, you have the control over desktop, and then tablet like this, and then mobile devices. And you can make these changes to ensure that it looks good for each of these devices. And that's very, very important, because a lot of people, when they think of a website, they think of how it looks on a monitor. And they forget that actually nowadays, a lot of people, 50% plus, actually access websites on mobile devices. So even though you can create a very good looking website in this display for your desktop, and this is most probably where you will be creating your website, you need to actually spend a lot of time to go and make sure that it looks good on a tablet. Let's just put it back on the middle, in the middle, because currently I think it doesn't look that good on the left. Just align all of, align them. Make sure it looks good here. And then you have to go and check on your mobile device. Make sure it looks good there. And there is so much more than meets the eye here. Make sure you go and check the tutorials on our YouTube channel. In fact, I recently did a full tutorial on a photography portfolio one-pager site. And what I recommend is, if you are new in this case, go and check those full tutorials and just copy everything that is done in there. That will really help you to get under and get with this and get it under the belt and understand how this product works. Good. So this is our Brizy Builder. Let's quickly have a quick run through where we started. We started with a page, and what I'm going to do is break my heart. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, let's go to the bottom. We started with a new block. Then we brought in these pre-made blocks from the categories. We can choose between Kit 1 and Kit 2. And then after we had done that, we had created our own one over here, and we did that. And you can even click here. You see the plus here between these two blocks? We brought in a blank block. And we built that out with the elements over here. And then we had reordered. We brought that block, this one, all the way to the top. And we changed the styling. And we put it here on a preset style called Exquisite. Let's see. Samurai. I want to bring in this. Ooh, Samurai. I like Samurai too. It's your decision, right? What you're up to. Let's say chubby. Chubby is probably, chubby is not so chubby. Chubby also looks good to me. Okay. And that's what we did. And then we also looked at how you're going to make different styling choices to the different devices, from desktop to tablet to mobile. A few other things before we call this a night and a day is that when you bring in a block and you go to the block manager, you will see up here there are 4 tabs in total. This one here is a pro feature. So if you are working with Brizy Cloud free and Brizy WordPress free, when you click on it, you're going to see what I'm going to see, but you won't be able to use them because they are all locked. Now these are full pages, fully fledged designed pre-made templates for you to use for different websites. For example, and they are preset to different topics, and the topics again here under the categories on the left. Let's say portfolio. If you're looking for a portfolio to display things, you click here on portfolio and you're going to get these options that you can bring in. And let's say real estate, you're interested in that, then you can choose from the real estate sets here. And the one that I always levitate towards because it's just so good to look at is this one, food. So there are apparently food, okay, there they are, the 4 food sites. You have this one, and they have names. Like this one here, if you hover over it, is called Flavor. This one is Gourmet. This one is Lavish. And this one is Molino. Let's say we click on Molino, and you will see it says it's got 6 layouts. If you click on here, you will see that there are 6 fully designed pages under Molino that you can use. If I go here to the display on the left, currently it's the home page that is selected. And from here, I can cycle through this entire page and see how it looks. If I want to go up, I just take my cursor up. If I want to go down, I just take the cursor down. And then to see how the others look, you just click on them and it will cycle through that. I've created a homepage here. So let's say I'm creating a bakery and I want to use the homepage for Molino, and then I will just do those content changes like change the images and change the text. All you need to do is click here on the homepage, and then here in the bottom, replace global styling. This is important to understand because you will see that the colors in here and the font, they are different to the styling I had set. If I want to use this styling, I'm going to select this one here. If I want to use the styling from the Brizy Builder I had set up, I just leave it unchecked. But I'm going to use this one. So I'll click check here, and then I click import this layout. And what it's going to do is it's going to import that entire page, and it's going to bring in Molino styling. So if I scroll up, there are a few things that's going to happen. This is the page that I had created, and now you see it's got different styling, because if I go to styling, you will see it's now set to Molino with the Molino styling. As I scroll down though, and I come here, you will see here is the Molino page that I've created. So it's attached now to the bottom of the page I created, which is of course not ideal. So what I'll do is I'll just go here to reorder blocks, and then these guys, I'm going to delete them. So get rid of that one, get rid of that one, and take them away, until I have the new ones that I've brought in through this layout. Look at that. Pretty, right? I've brought in this entire site. Last 2 things I want to show you is again done within the block manager, but from here. You can create this block here, like this beautiful hero block that we've created here with this image in the background, and then you have text and you have a button. And what you can do is you can use it again in the future. And to do that, you save this block. If I go up here to the block, there's the little heart, which is close to my heart. You like it. That's what it means. You love it so much, you want to save it. And then you click on it, and it will think, and then it will say saved. Now, if I go to the bottom, and I click here on add a new block, up here, now we go to this one, save blocks, click on it, and you will see it will generate the thumbnail, and this block appears over here. Click on it, and now it will bring it at the bottom. Right, so that's how you can save a block, and then you can reuse it. And then you have another option, which is called a global block. And I'm just quickly going to show you a global block. Let's go to this one. And let's say you want to use this block on each and every page on your website again and again and again and again. Then you make it a global block. and the difference between a global block. Let me first show you where to do it. Go to the block settings over here on the left, and then where it says make it global, it will activate it, and then that little blue dot will appear there with a globe inside telling you that this is now a global block. So we go to the bottom, click on a new block, and now go to global blocks. And there it is. Now a global block at its heart is a saved block, but it has global features. So let me bring this one in. Okay, so now we have this one from the top and this one. And then we have the same here. Let's make a change here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font. This is the one at the top to Laura. Let's bring in an overlay here to the block settings. I'm going to click on overlay like this. And this is, let's change this one's color. I go here. Okay, I'm going to just make that a little bit more. Good. So you've seen the changes I've made to this block at the top. If I go to the one that I brought in here at the bottom, it is still the same because it's just a copy. It copied it and it pasted it. These two are not connected to each other at all. That is save blocks. But this one, I made a global block. Remember that little thing there? If you look at the one I brought in at the bottom, you're going to see it also has that little blue dot. This means these two are linked. What does that mean? Let's go to the original one. Let's do similar stuff here. I'm going to make some changes here. Let's make it wacky. All right, very, very wacky. Change the text color here. Oh, yucky. Yeah, let's rather do something like, but we still want to make it extreme so that you can understand. That's it. That's extreme enough, right? Now, if we go to the bottom of this one, which is linked, it's a global block. You can see same applied. And that's how you can work with all the blocks from the block manager. Great. And this is how you work within the Brizy Builder. Strictly speaking, within the Brizy Builder, there's nothing more to show what I've shown you. All the options that you have within the Brizy Builder, they appear over here. What you will need to do now is that you will have to go to YouTube and you will have to go and check how to work with these various elements, in particularly the column and the row, and you learn more about features like the more settings, settings with heights, and then like padding and margins. These are those fine-tuned things that you will need when you want to go in, especially create your own blocks. If you are using the pre-made blocks, these are already set, so you have to change very little. But it's important that you do know how to use them. So go check out the YouTube channel for the tutorials and get used to this. But I would recommend, if it's your first time, sign up for Brizy, go for the free version, bring in those pre-made blocks, change the content like I had shown you, and then just see how it goes. And from there, I think the first decision you have to make is whether you like it, whether this is for you. And then if it is, then start building more. And then later on, if you are comfortable with it, go for the pro versions, because you get so much more with the pro versions. You're going to get a far away with the free versions. But I can guarantee you one day you're going to say, man, I wish I can do this. One of those features that you are going to wish you can do is the pop-ups. And I'm going to end with this. This is a pro feature. If I click here on this button, and there's a little link, I can click on the link, and then you will see there's a feature called a pop-up. And this is something that's only available in the pro versions. So if I click here now, I can create what is called a pop-up. So if somebody comes to my site and they click on that button, a pop-up is going to appear. So maybe give them a discount or ask them to fill in a form. Let's choose this one with a map, like get in touch. We can change that to our shop. Let me do that. I double click there, and then our, let's say our shop. Or let's say contact us. Contact us, right? Now, where is that pop-up? Well, you have to go view it on the front end. So I'm going to save my work here in the bottom right-hand corner, then click on preview. And then here, which is the front end, we refer to it as the front end, where visitors will come and see your page. Now, when they click on this button, that pop-up is going to appear. Very cool, right, Nigel? Yes, indeed. And then they can fill in the form here. They even have a map here, some icons they can click. Very cool. And then after they've done with the pop-up, they just click here And that's one of the reasons you will probably consider going pro, just one of many reasons. Go and check out at Brizy on brizy.io and brizy.cloud for the differences between the free and the pro. And before I say adieu for this video, just remember I mentioned to you the videos we are rolling out on YouTube. There are new features coming in regularly, updates happening all the time. Brizy is actually still a very, very young platform and page builder, so there's a lot that is being done. And as these new features roll out, we try to catch up with them with the videos on YouTube. So for the latest and best advice, first go check out, make sure you search, and then we also have the Facebook community where you can go and check it out. And then hopefully through these webinars, we can also entice you to try out what is going on in the world of Brizy. Okay, so let me just have a look here in the chat room. Okay, I'm going to have a look quickly here at a few of the questions and see. Yes, Matt, absolutely. This is recorded and you're going to see how much I had messed up at the beginning, how much it didn't work. We will work that out. How to make a relation between Brizy Cloud and our own domain. Our node, there's actually, are you talking about a custom domain? You have to go check it on YouTube. There is a video for that. Okay, right. I think this is great. You guys have been helping there in the chat room. I'm going to promote you guys immediately to lieutenants in the chat room. Not sure where I'm going to get those badges from, but from now on you are lieutenants. Right, so actually, I think Mateus, he was the one who called it first at the beginning. He was going to say it is a collaboration. Collaboration is 100% the correct word for it. And this is what's going to be implemented in Brizy Cloud. Brizy Cloud, yes. If it's going to go into Brizy WordPress, not entirely sure about that, because there are actually platforms that can do that in Brizy WordPress, but this is designed for Brizy Cloud. I had to beg Dimitri, get me something to show the guys tonight in the webinar what we are working on. And a few weeks ago, he had teased us with stories, and that was it. And since then, I've been on his case. Give me stories, give me stories, give me stories. And he said, okay, there's a few things here and there that the guys have to just tighten up. I have to be patient. And then today he surprised me with this collaboration platform. So when you are in Brizy Cloud, what's going to happen is that when you're working with clients, you're going to give them the option to leave comments for you on your site. And these are typical, for example, if you had styled something and the client doesn't like it, what the client will do is they will go into the dashboard and they will click on comments. And you will see here on the left that the sidebar looks different, right? This is where you will know you are now in the collaboration mode. So collaboration is having a discussion back and forth over what looks good on my site and what would I like to change. Awesome. Awesome. I used that word awesome again. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And what happens is as I hover here with my cursor into the different areas, you will see there's a little plus. Click to add a comment. That's how simple it is. I don't need to have any complicated things. For example, this download button, I don't like that icon there, or I want to remove the icon. And let's pretend for a moment that I am the client. So I come here and I click on it, and it says visible to everyone, or visible to the team that you have assigned here. And then write a comment, please remove the icon. Please remove the icon, and that's it. And then I click here on comment. And you will see this is number 28. Okay, so there are many. John Curran, that's me. John Curran. If I could choose, I want to be John Connor from Terminator, please, Dimi. Next time, remember. So, of course, now if Dimi comes to the site and he sees that John Curran had posted this comment, he will post something back here. And if he thinks, if he's removed the comment, he will click here on resolved. And once it has been resolved, it gets that little check mark. Okay, ching. And you don't have to worry about this. This will not appear on the front end. This is only going to appear in collaboration mode. So once you click up here on the edit, and this is not a live version. So if I click on the edit, it will take you back into the live page. That is how this will work. Up here, if you want to have a bird's eye view of all the comments on this page, you will go up here to where you have this, and it's just going to load it because you actually have, and this is impressive, guys. I'm going to show it to you. You have desktop, tablet, and mobile. You can add comments respectively to those different devices. So it's not only going to be desktop. You can choose between the tablet and mobile. And if I click here on mobile, it's just going to refresh the collaboration mode into mobile. And you will see that I have posted 3 comments here. If I scroll down, there's one, it's been resolved. There's one that's been resolved. And there's one that has been resolved. This is absolutely cool, right? The fact that you can have it on these 3 different devices. Pele, I see you say genius. I wish you were saying I'm the genius, but I know, right? So this is very, very different. It's very client orientated. So if you don't work with clients, you're probably going to say, man, who needs it? But for those of you that can see how this is growing into an ideal client platform and how the team is listening to the feedback that they are getting and trying to incorporate these features, and then here at the bottom, I just noticed it says here hide resolved. Ooh, turn it on and off so you can also do that. Great. And if you want to go back to only the ones on the desktop, there you go. Yes, Diana, thank you very much. Hope you guys have a good evening. I'm going to work on that technical issue, figure it out by the next time. But on the other hand, if the internet can hold, then a live performance is much better than a pre-recorded performance. And I'll make sure that our good friend Dimitri joins me then for the next one. So we have somebody. Is now Anthony Fauci. I saw that call. Very good for Saturday Night Live.